Welcome to the Apolitical podcast.
Good morning, Waldorf.
Welcome to episode 2, and today we're going to be talking about
generational trauma and how it's passed down. Generational trauma is passed down from one generation to the other, and how it's caused is
things such as war, forced migration, abuse, and poverty or oppression.
and how it actually gets passed down.
It can get passed down through genes turning on and off, and through parenting styles that are affected by these traumatic experiences, and through their social community.
Yes. It also has such a huge effect on teens, even though that we didn't experience these traumas that our grandparents or parents experienced. We can still experience them in the household with overprotective parenting styles and pressure from family expectations, and also difficulty in expressing emotions.
it could be through like 6 or 7 generations, 6 or 8, it could
Many generations.
Many generations. It could go through it doesn't have to be your parents, then your grandparents. It could be your great-great-grandparents or even before them.
Exactly. Real world examples can be
Like famines.
exactly famine in the Irish famine.
The Irish famine.
Potatoes.
These new generations of Irish people, higher rates of diabetes
And obesity.
and they can't lose weight as easily because it's like in their DNA and their genes that food is scarce and they need to save a lot of fat. So when the food is gone, they can burn the
When
fat.
they digest food, they go into fight
Exactly.
or
So they're
flight
their
mode.
body is automatically from birth in survival mode.
Reject.
Sorry.
How does
How
this
did
affect you personally?
How did the Irish famine affect you?
The Irish affected me actually a lot because it's very interesting to learn.
Fatso.
Because it shows you a real world example of generational trauma. And generational trauma isn't just only in your behavior, it's about like how your body works.
Yeah.
Like it changes your DNA and your genes.
Okay, for example, when the war in Syria happened, when it first started, 90% of the population decreased the... Huh? 90% of the population went into poverty because of the war and the Assad
They
regime.
didn't have bananas.
They didn't have bananas, guys. Bananas was a privilege.
Okay. So me personally, I'm from Gaza, my origin, and I see it in my parents, my grandparents, and even my great-grandparents. I wasn't there at the time, but I hear stories. I see how much it affected my parents and my grandparents. It's crazy. I feel like it doesn't have that much of an effect on me because I wasn't there to actually experience it or see someone like a generation past me experience it. Okay, now Talia, how about your experience?
So, I'm originally Syrian, okay? So, the Syrian war started in 2011. I was only 1 at the time. But my family fled Syria when I was 2 years old. And that was because it was getting very hectic and very scary. And we fled like a few days before the borders to Jordan had closed. So my family, I was pretty young at the time, but it's still like embedded in my
Subconscious.
yes. Embedded in my subconscious, sort of.
Yes.
But my older sister experienced it, and my dad experienced, and my parents and my older sister experienced it more than I did because they were more aware and conscious. Like my sister saw her, she was like very traumatized, and she saw her like coach die, and it was very traumatic for her. And my mom went through a lot. Like she had 3 hours to pack all the necessities in her house and leave her house and her childhood home and her childhood country. And my dad's factory got bombed, so we came here to Jordan with nothing, start from zero. So coming to Jordan was an opportunity to start a new life and to start fresh, as you would say. But my time in Jordan didn't last long. It only lasted 2 years before I had to go to Canada. And going to Canada and experiencing something that's not, sure, Jordan was close to Syria and it's close to your culture and close to your language, but going to a whole different country and different weather, different climate is very hard, and it's a cultural shock, you know? Because you don't experience negative 19 degrees here, you know what I mean? It's colder than your freezer. Anyway, very much culture shock. And then once I came back from here and I was born, like I not was born and raised, but I was raised in a different country, and coming back was another whole culture shock. So all of like my life has been messed up just because of this one thing. And yes.
That's so bad.
I
So
also
bad.
have personal experiences.
انت سورية ولا لبنانية؟
لبنانية بس ستي سورية يعني. What are you on about?
Well,
My grandma's cousins, 2 of them were beheaded, and their bodies were found in a dumpster because they were like.
Don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh, don't laugh. Lock in.
But because of the situations that were happening in Syria, and they got beheaded and thrown in the dumpster, and like after years of them being missing, in front of the dumpster that's in front of their like family home, and my grandma had to experience that, and that's very traumatizing. I also have my great grandfather that experienced the Nakba, and my grandpa was really affected by that, and it affected his parenting styles for it to affect my father. So even though like so many casualties happened to my like parents from each generation, it hasn't reached me yet, and it hasn't like affected me yet, and it hasn't affected like how my parents like their parenting style and like our household rules and everything.
Yeah. I mean, it affected my parents because they want me. My parents wouldn't be where they are today if they didn't experience this experience. Like my dad started from zero, built his company from zero, and my mom is one of the bravest, most resilient women I know, and she's experienced so many things, and they just want me to be better because of it. You know what I mean? So it made me the person I am today.
Also, another disturbing topic that is happening in our world right now, which is very disappointing that is happening in our modern world right now, is the stuff that's going on in Gaza right now, even though it's been going on for like decades. Right now, what's happening in Gaza specifically with the genocide, and it's creating famine, and like people and kids are being starved, and like medical aid from all around the world isn't being provided for them and not available to be transported to them. That causes such trauma. People can die out of bombs, but there's a huge percentage in Gaza that like people are dying from hunger, and like. The food isn't really like sanitized, and the water isn't clean whatsoever. They have no sanitation, no food like at all. So this is very hard and like very heartbreaking.
how is this gonna affect the future generations?
It's gonna affect the future generations with like the genetic DNA, because right now people in Gaza, like their body is in flight or fight mode, which they're in survival mode. So like it affects the genes and the DNA, such as the Irish famine, how like it like burns the fats, the fatties.
Metabolism.
Yeah, metabolism,
Sorry,
like it. No, good. What else? Yeah, and it's just a very traumatizing thing to see, and it can also affect generations such as Yusuf.
Such as
Such
Yusuf.
as
Wow.
Yusuf. Yusuf is being affected.
Because Ghazawi,
Okay.
whatever.
No, he wasn't in this.
Just because
genocide.
I'm from Gaza
Yeah.
doesn't mean
He's
I'm
from
going
Gaza.
through what
No,
they're
but
going
he's
through.
still affected from it. You're telling me you're not affected by the stuff you're seeing and the
By
stuff you're
seeing your
hearing?
people
Your
die.
family.
Seeing your people and
Your
like
cousins.
hearing about what
I'm personally affected
Why am I
by
getting
seeing my
attacked?
people die.
Okay, so during this pandemic, actually, the indigenous people of America, they were actually like very like traumatized and scared because when they were colonized by the Europeans, they would use these things called biobombs. You know about the biobombs?
They would
Biobombs.
they would bring in sick
people from Europe to infect the indigenous people because their immune system wasn't
their immune
ready
systems
for it.
and
couldn't handle it.
And also,
couldn't handle it, and also like they gave them blankets that like caused
That's where
to have them
infected
like
were.
smallpox or chickenpox, and like that just basically like killed half the
Collapsed
population off. So
the
right now,
immune
like with people in the pandemic, the indigenous people in the pandemic, they were traumatized because of the ancestors to take the vaccine and everything. Because yes,
Okay, I have a question. How do you think COVID will affect future generations?
I don't think it
it
would actually.
wouldn't. It would just be
Other
fun
than the
stories.
people infected,
Okay.
I don't think it would.
Like for example, if like a big figure from the family died, I'm so sorry.
Okay,
No,
what
I
do you
don't
think?
think it would.
How much do you think
But
that?
COVID affected our generation, not generations to come.
Yeah.
Affected our generation. We have no social skills whatsoever.
Yeah.
So bad.
We were quarantined in.
And we could teach that to our children.
Yes.
Like not to have social skills.
Yes.
That's so bad.
What else did quarantine do to us? Like
بس
TikTok dancing? No.
Traumatized, like
made
getting
us so
Online
fat.
school, it made half the
Online
world
school,
stupid.
yes, that made us
Yeah.
behind educationally.
Like also, people now, our generation depend so much on ChatGPT or AI, and I could say this for everyone. So like, because online school happened from the quarantine, we like no one focused.
Adapted, like we
so
adapted.
we are just adapted to the internet, and we adapted to taking answers from the internet and not studying manually by ourselves and actually exercising our brain.
Yeah. We live in a generation today where we have been through so many traumatic events. Quarantine, COVID-19, our pandemic,
Almost World War
wars, World War III, as we're experiencing it right now. Like one more thing and World War III will occur. What else has happened in our generation? Moral of the story, we've been through so many traumatic events. And we live in such a crazy time right now. And hopefully we don't pass this trauma that we're gonna experience or have experienced to our children. We'll get the proper help we need.
Yes, make sure to like and subscribe, guys.
Make
Yes.
sure to like and subscribe.
Hit the
Love you, Waldorf!
Okay, yalla, bye.
What? It's
You're doing really good. It was
yeah,
really
okay.
good.
Even though like
بس بدك اياها تكون انه متاثرين وحنبكي هيك؟ لا بدك تجاوب بكى بدك تجاوب بكى اوكي مش هيك